Good day, everyone. My name is Alma Alombro, and my topic for today is change management in digital transformation. Now, I know as teachers, we have experienced this digital transformation in our workplace because 2 school years ago, we were forced to embrace the digital distance learning, and it was a bit challenging for us, but somehow we managed to overcome those challenges. Okay, so let's start with the definition. What is change management? So it is an organized approach to administering changes to an organization. Now, wherever we are, whatever we do, there will always be changes. And I know that changes in the workplace or changes in the daily routine that we are used to is somehow difficult to unlearn. I mean, somehow difficult to change, to adapt to new skills, to adapt to new learning. That's why it is needed that we have this change management in order for us to have this transition in a smooth way. Now, as we work in our jobs, as we work in our job, there are most of the time we tend to have reluctance to changes, and for the administration or the leaders who are above us, they would think of something that is effective for us to improve, to innovate. Now, what is the goal of change management? Of course, it is to make the workforce ready, willing, and accepting to embrace new ways of working that are critical to the future. Now, while the essence of change management remains the same across industries and businesses, uh, it's still a very complex process because there are adjustments, the shift, transformation, modification in order to make things successful. Okay. Uh, in the digital transformation, so its definition is it's the process of using digital technologies to create new or modify existing business processes, culture, and customer experiences to meet changing business and market requirements. Now, it mainly focuses on digital technologies to modify and to create a new culture. And this culture is grounded in the advancement when it comes to technology, to level up. And because of this, there is a culture that is being, another culture that is being created because of these changes. And the customer experiences, of course, is to make it easier, to make it more convenient, in order also to be competitive in the global market. Now, in education, during the pandemic, we were forced to, like I mentioned earlier, we were forced to adapt to the changes. Now, uh, the other Asian countries, especially the progressive one, and in the Western countries, they have actually been practicing the online distance learning. And for us, the Philippines, because we have slow internet and we are not advanced enough, we don't have enough gadgets. So especially in public school, we were not really thinking about the changes, but it's the pandemic, it's the change of our time led us to transform, to adapt to this new environment. Okay, and of course, our learners were able to adapt even if it was difficult for them. So there's a new culture that is being embraced by our students also. Okay. According to Agarwal et al. 2010, they defined it as a company-wide phenomenon with broad organizational implications in which Most notably, the core business model of the firm is subject to change through the use of digital technology. So mainly, it's a massive transformation that is grounded solely on digital technology. Okay. Now, I'm actually happy that in public school, we are now a little bit a little bit advanced compared to before the pandemic, because we never heard of Google Classroom. Although we actually, before the pandemic, I have heard of the Google Classroom, and I was planning to start that because I was handling that time I was handling the higher section, and I want them to be digital. But for some reason, because it was not accepted by the parents, so I had to stop that. So I'm happy that because of the pandemic, we are really forced to embrace, use the Google Classroom, use Zoom, Google Meet, and we have this good, when we have our exam or test or activities, we can be digital. So it's a bit easier for us now. Now, in digital transformation, of course, so I'm just going to have an example of the education in our educational landscape now that we are we are we have face to face, and we also have online classes. So we develop this new culture in our school, and we are now open to the use of different technology tools, different technology like Zoom, Google Meet, and students were able to adapt that. It's already part of their learning now. Now, because of this transformation, because of these changes in our workplace, the technology has made learning easier, and it's more interactive, and it's interesting for them compared to the usual the usual thing that we do, that we have Manila paper. Of course, we have PowerPoint, but it's not really that interactive compared nowadays. Now, DepEd also has made an effort that we can at least level up. So we have our e-library now in DepEd, and we also have LMS in DepEd. Although some of the public schools actually, especially in the remote area, they could still not use the LMS that the DepEd has provided. So again, there is a culture of the embracing the technology in our public school. Now, why is the change management essential for successful digital transformation? One is to reduce resistance. Now, resistance to change in the workplace is very common, especially if the employees or teachers have been in the school for the longest time. They are the one who's sometimes, not all, okay. They are most of the time not adapted to the change, because aside from they are already used to what they are doing, it's difficult for them to level up in terms of technology. Okay, now, resistance to change is commonly encountered obstacle during all kinds of transformation, and change management gets critical people from the organization involved in your digital transformation efforts. Thus, it would reduce any resistance to change. Of course, in everything that we introduce to the employees, or to the teachers, to the learners, to the stakeholders, it can be settled by a proper communication. We have to plan how to introduce them for them to accept it with an open heart. Okay, another is, why is it essential? People impacted people impacted by structural and technological change be adaptive. So if you are not planning, if you do not have this management well organized, of course, there are people who would really resist. And these people who are the very people who are concerned of these changes, the big change would impact on how in their daily routine, would of course resist. So what we need to do is for them to be, how are they going to adapt it, that it would be easier for them. Because, in a school, it is already organized, it is already structured. So changing, the abrupt change would of course give them, um, a negative impact to them, that they would not accept it as often as others would accept. Okay, another is, reduce the possibility of failed digital transformations. Yeah, okay. Now, when we introduce a new thing, especially when it comes to technology, it's almost a trial and error. And to reduce that possibility of failure, of course, change management would help us a lot. The another is, uh, because we are prepared of this, we involve the operation team for refinement. Now, I'll just give an example of what took place during the transition from face-to-face to online distance learning in our school. So we came up with a team who would help us how to start with Zoom, how to navigate with the different tools that we need to use. So we have a team who would teach those people who would, uh, people who had difficulty in adjustment to these changes. So this team, they would help those who are in need of assistance. So everything would be refined because there is a team that would actually work on that specific area. Another is to anticipate challenges in change adoption and respond to them efficiently and timely. Now, of course, if there's changes in a workplace, we have to anticipate what are the challenges, and if we are prepared, we can somehow adjust that and plan ahead. How are we going to counter these challenges? How are we going to solve these challenges? So in our school, what we did was, of course, there were parents who were not really uh, open to online distance learning, because not only that it is difficult for them because of the availability of the gadget, the internet. So what we did was, we conducted um, we had a program where stakeholders were invited to participate to help us out with the gadgets, to help us out with the load. So those challenges that we had at the beginning of our online distance learning were addressed. So that's the beauty of, when you are prepared, you anticipate what would be the challenges. Of course, another challenges we had, of course, the senior citizens in our school. Of course, we also came up with a team to address that, to help them. So anticipating challenges would help us that the transformation would go smoothly. Okay, so online training in challenges. In the picture, you can see there is an old teacher, but of course, old teacher does not mean that they are not good when it comes to teaching. Actually, they are seasoned teachers. It's just that delivering their lesson in an online platform is a bit difficult for them. So it affected how they deliver the lesson. These are the challenges that we encounter, and like I said, they were addressed because we developed a team. We had teachers, younger teachers, who would uh, do assistance while they were having the Zoom meeting or in the Google Meet. And of course, the parents. These are also one of the challenges that we had. That the Some of the parents are not really prepared for this, because they are not used to be around every day with their kids while they are teaching, and they have to oversee. So what we did was we had training for our parents, with our parents. They were trained how to handle, and also we trained them how to use the Google Classroom, what was expected in the Zoom meeting. So all of the skills were taught to them. So at the same time, the learners were learning with the tools, the parents, as well as the teachers. So these are the some of the challenges that we encountered during the transition from face-to-face to online learning. Okay. And the success of digital transformation, of course, is um, would be dependent to the partner or the kind of partners that you have. And of course, these partners who are expert in technology services. So to succeed in your digital transformation endeavors, you need to partner with expert technology services. So in our school, we partnered with the Mapua Institute. They taught us how to use the LMS to maximize the online platform that we can use. And we were also taught how to create videos. Now, these skills were really helpful for us. Now, before the pandemic, we were actually just go to YouTube and download some of the videos that are posted there and use it in the classroom. Now, because of somebody, because there were experts in this platform, in this technology, in these tools, we were able to learn how to create our own videos. And at first, some of the teachers were actually reluctant to do it because it's difficult to do. But now they are enjoying how to create their own video lessons, and they're happy. And some of us actually have a YouTube channel where we post all of our lesson materials that we created, video lessons. So it's very important that we partner with those experts in technology for us to be really successful. Okay. Now, change can be complex, but it is inevitable to remain agile and competitive. So if we do not embrace this change in digital platform and in technology to adapt the different tools, learning tools that are available online, now we will be obsolete. It's actually a blessing that uh, it's actually a blessing in disguise that we have the pandemic, because especially in the public schools, because we're not really open to use this kind of technology, aside from because of finances. Now we were able to force ourselves to embrace these changes, and now we are enjoying we have the internet, we have the different learning tools that we use that are available online, and we have our YouTube channel that we are enjoying much, and we have the skills that we learned during the pandemic that until now we are happy to use. So it might be very complex, but it is really helpful for us. Okay, so that's the end of my report. And uh, during our time, I'm looking forward that you will share also what you have experienced in your school as you transition to technology. So thank you very much and have a good day.